Morris Peacock, and this is another edition of the Transforum, which, by the way, is a combination and alliteration of transformation and a forum, and creating a global forum of how do we get transformation. That's why we chose the name, The Transforum. We've been sharing and beginning to lay out a process whereby we're analyzing what are the major principles that are required to create nations that maximize sustainable freedom and prosperity. Here on the Transforum, we're really dealing with two things. We're dealing with analyzing current news based on principles that apply to current news and events. And secondly, we're dealing with what are the major principles that are going to be required to create sustainable reality for people, prosperity and freedom. Now, the second principle that is applicable to the latter, that is how to create prosperous and free nations, which is the critical question right now, regardless of all the world news. It's what we're after. Is that there are absolute principles and realities. That's principle number one. And principle number two is within those principles and in their application, there is a hierarchy of values and a strategic application, a sequence which keeps first things first and promotes wisdom and a love of humility and the fear of God. Now, that's a big mouthful, and it's going to take several times, and we'll repeatedly go through this. But what I want to focus on right now is the concept of hierarchy of values. Everything, all values are not the same. There is a hierarchy. There's some things are more important than other things. It doesn't mean that the second tier is not important. It simply means that there are first things first. Now, good leaders understand that. Part of the crash and burn situation that we're living in today, certainly here in the United States, is we have a bunch of politicians instead of a group of statesmen. A politician is somebody who wants power for whatever reason. A statesman is somebody that wants to advance the cause of freedom and liberty within their nation. They're a true patriot. That is, they are a father-like or parental, mother, female, male, it doesn't matter. They have a parental view of their contribution to the nation and culture. Anybody that's going to sit in that chair had better clearly understand there is a hierarchy of values. Some things are more important than other things. Not everything is of equal importance. As I listen to the politicians and the debates and the sound bites of today, I wonder who really understands the principle of a hierarchy of values. I hope you do. I hope those of you that are parents understand and are training your children to think some things are more important than other things. It doesn't mean that the other things aren't important. It means that some things take precedence over the second, third, or fourth things. If we're going to change America, let alone change the nations, we have to discover and elect people, leaders, who understand the principle of a hierarchy of values. That's why the Transforum is here. We want to see transformation that works.